Look, this is going to be a longer video than I normally do, so please stay with me because I have a lot of stuff that's extremely important to say. Because in Kansas, apparently, our lawmakers think it's their job to tell parents that they're not allowed to get gender affirming care for their own kids, even if it's recommended by a licensed doctor, supported by medical associations, and literally saves lives. Meanwhile, just over in Nebraska, they passed a law banning trans kids from playing on sports teams that match their gender identity. And get this, there are fewer than 10 trans athletes in the entire state. Less than 10. They spent weeks writing this bill, debating it, promoting it, all to stop 10 kids from playing soccer or running track. Do you guys know how many people in Kansas and Nebraska are struggling just to afford health insurance, or they can't find a therapist for their mental health, or are they fighting opioid addiction with zero help? But this is how our elected officials are spending their time and your tax dollars. And please don't come for me saying it's all about protecting the kids, because these are the same lawmakers and parents who are perfectly fine with a 14-year-old being able to get a hunting rifle, a kid playing tackle football and risking brain damage, parents dragging their kids to church and then telling them that they're going to go to hell if they don't repent, feeding their kids junk food 3 meals a day, entering toddlers in beauty pageants, wearing makeup and fake lashes where they're sexualized at an early age, homeschooling their kids without teaching basic science or sex ed, but the second you support your trans kid with medically approved care, oh no, now the government has to step in. So let me be clear. The state, any state, has no business telling parents that they can't follow the advice of trained doctors and mental health professionals. This isn't some back alley surgery in someone's garage, guys. This is science, this is medicine, and this is parenting. And let's get something else straight. Being transgender is not a mental illness. It's not a disorder. It's not some delusion that needs to be cured. The American Psychiatric Association, the American Medical Association, and every major health organization agrees. Gender identity is a normal part of human diversity. What is a mental health risk, though, is forcing a kid to live in a body they don't identify with. What causes depression, anxiety, and suicide isn't being trans, it's being shamed, rejected, and erased. You can literally get your kid a nose job when they're a teenager, or braces, or even take them on vacation where they sip wine at 16 and nobody cares. But puberty blockers that are reversible and life-saving, suddenly it's child abuse. This isn't about protecting kids. It's about controlling them. It's about using vulnerable people as political pawns, and it's about making sure trans kids grow up ashamed, erased, and isolated. If they cared about protecting children, they'd be fixing our broken healthcare system. They'd be funding mental health care. They would be making sure no kid goes to bed hungry in this country. But instead, they're passing bills to solve problems that barely exist, just so they can win political points and keep the culture war going. It's disgusting. This isn't governance. This is cruelty dressed up as policy, and it's costing real people their lives while solving absolutely nothing. This is not hard to understand, people. All of this information is literally at our fingertips on your fucking phones. And if you're choosing not to read it or not to agree with it, even though it's backed by science, then you are openly admitting that you are an ignorant bigot. Your lack of acceptance and your willful ignorance is exactly why this country is going straight to shit. And I promise you, liberals like myself being loving and accepting toward people who are different than them is not the fucking problem. Yeah, we're rude and brutal to MAGA people sometimes, but that's because you are literally trying to legislate people out of existence. There's a difference. You're just too fucking stupid to see it.